A better way to perform visual testing is to use more intelligent services such as Applitools Eyes, designed specifically for visual testing. Applitools just recently released a new Playwright SDK, and in this video I'll show you how to set it up and the main workflow for the visual test. And in the next video I'll show you some of the smart AI Applitools features such as match level adjustments and also very cool approach to cross-browser testing that saves a lot of time. So let's get into it. So we continue to use our Playwright Practice app application, and we're gonna play around on this form layouts page. And I currently run this application on the local host. And by the way, if you're watching this video on YouTube and want to follow along with me, you can check in the description down below links to the repository for this test application with the instructions how to install it. If something not gonna work, you can ask me in the comments, I'll check it out and provide needed support. And you can also click the like button and subscribe along the way. All right, so we continue. So for this demo, I have created very simple test that is performing only 2 steps. So we navigate into the home page, then we navigate to the forms page and the form layouts page. That's it. So we're gonna perform visual testing for this form layouts page. So this is the home page, then navigating forms and form layouts page. And in the playwright config.ts, it's also minimalistic configuration only with the stuff that we need. So we have a standard playwright HTML reporter, we define our base URL, and we have a single project with a Chrome browser. That's it. And if I try to run this test, it will work just fine. So I click on that and it runs browser and opens the application. Everything is working. So the next step, to integrate this project with Applitools, you need to create an account with Applitools, of course. So navigate to applitools.com and click here on the free trial button. After that, you will need to create an account for this service, Applitools Eyes. Submit this application and you will create a free account. After you log in with this account, you will be redirected to this Applitools Eyes dashboard. Currently, I don't have anything over here, but when we integrate our test, we will see the executions on this dashboard. So now, how to make integration of Applitools with our sample Playwright project. Click on this Learning Center icon, then here on Getting Started, and here scroll down below in Playwright Tutorial. And we open the Playwright documentation, which is by default open for the Playwright. But Applitools also support Cypress, Selenium, WebDriver, and other frameworks. By default is the Playwright. And here is in the quick start, we have steps that we need to execute. So we don't need to initialize new Playwright project because we already have it. We need to execute this step, install Applitools into our project. So I copy this link, going back to our application, terminal, and this is the folder with our test project. I paste this command and execute. All right, the package was installed successfully. Now, if we navigate to package.json, right here, we can see that this package was added into the package.json file. All right, let's move on. The next step, going back to documentation, we need to execute this step, npx eyes setup, to complete the configuration. And I paste this command into the terminal, hit enter. After that, Applitools asks to enter API key. Where to get API key? Going back to the dashboard right here, closing this, I'm clicking on this little user icon, and here we have menu my API key. Click on that, and this is the value for my API key. Copying, going back, pasting it right here, hit enter. Then Applitools asking if we want to use a different URL for Applitools server. No, we use the default eyes.applitools.com, and that's pretty much it. Configuration is done. So now let's see what changed in our project. So going to the playwright.config.ts, and here we can find some updates. So first of all, a new Eyes fixture was added to the configuration. So Applitools in a new version of SDK utilizes a very powerful Playwright feature, which is fixture. So inside of the fixture is hidden all the configuration and needed steps to interact with Applitools dashboard. And all we need to do is just import this fixture inside of our configuration file and inside of our test. So this fixture was added automatically, and also it was added as a type to define config file. The next step, we have a new section inside of the use block, which is eyes config. Here you can set up all the default settings for Applitools. As of right now, we have configured only the API key. The rest of the keys is just for our reference. For example, this flag fail test on div false. It means that test of the Playwright will not fail if there is mismatch for the visual test. But if you put it as a true and uncomment this line, then the Playwright test will fail as well. Or for example, we can set the application name, how it will be displayed on the Applitools dashboard, and so on. So you can find in documentation all those different configuration options you can set up right here. And let's go back to our spec file. So in spec file, nothing is changed so far, but we need to update it accordingly to use new fixture. So closing this one, and let's go back to documentation. Now what we need to do, scrolling a little bit down, right here. So I copying this line, going back to the test file and copying. So look, we are now going to use the test function of the Playwright, not imported from the Playwright library. We're going to import it from the fixture, Applitools fixture. So this test function is the same test function as was before, but with injected Applitools fixture to kind of enhance this test function with visual testing capabilities. So what we need to do is basically delete this one and replace with a new test function imported from the Applitools. And over here, next to the page fixture, we need to add a new eyes fixture. And now we can use eyes fixture inside of the test. All right, so how to use it? Very, very easy. So let's say we want to make a visual test of our homepage and form layouts page. So to do that, you need to make a call of eyes check method every time you want to make a visual test. So in our example, we want to do it after we open the homepage. We want to make a validation of the homepage. So I type await eyes check. And as an argument, I just provide the name of the page, some meaningful name that I want to be displayed on Applitools dashboard. For example, home page. And the second step I want to make over here, when we open form layouts page, I want to make another snapshot, eyes check, and this will be form layouts page. Well, that's pretty much it. Configuration is done. And now we can execute the test. And I will type the command npx playwright test just to execute this test headlessly. So running a single test, eyes check homepage, waiting for eyes results, and test passed successfully. Now going back to Applitools dashboard, I hit refresh over here. And here we go. We have a first screenshots. So when we run test for the first time, the status of the test will be as new. So Applitools doesn't know anything yet about our test, and it makes the two of the screenshots for both of the pages and save the screenshot for the page as a baseline screenshot. So if I click over here, we can see the screenshot number 1 and the screenshot number 2. And also Applitools automatically accepted the screenshot right here. You can see the thumbs up, it was accepted. And the screenshot 1 and screenshot 2 was saved as a baseline screenshot. Now, if we go back to the test one more time and let's run it one more time and let's see what's going to happen this time. All right, test is completed. Going back to the dashboard, refresh. And look, now we have a new status, which is unresolved. Let's check it out what actually happened. So we see that the first test, it passed successfully. You can hover over here, it shows as a match, but the second test did not, it shows mismatch. So now we can click on this screenshot and see what actually happened and what Applitools found. So now, how you can compare the screenshot of the current test with the baseline screenshot made on the previous step. So option 1, you can click on these buttons, baseline screenshot and current screenshot, or you can use a hotkey T. So I click in on this is a baseline screenshot and this is the checkpoint. You see, you don't see the much of a difference. And also you can compare side by side, show both. And here are 2 of the screenshots. But still, it's not very clear what actually happening. So the screenshots looks the same. But if we look more attentively, we see this little section highlighted in purple. And if you're not able to find, okay, what actually went wrong, there is also a special button, highlight diffs. So you can click on that and Applitools immediately highlight the section of the page. So that's the difference what was found. So I compare baseline, checkpoint. You see that a tiny difference. So what is that? So if I go back to our application, so look what happened. So when I refresh the application, there is a little blue line in the top of the screen, right? And this is kind of a loading bar, but it's not true loading bar, it's more of an animation. And because the timing of this bar is pretty quick and there is just tiny millisecond difference of where this bar is located, Applitools catching this difference and tell us that something is wrong. But for us, for our testing, it doesn't matter that this bar is actually there or not. So what we can do is like 2 ways. The option number 1, we can create a delay before making eyes check. For example, we can make something like timeout ½ millisecond or something like that to make sure that page loaded properly, and then we make eyes check. But a better way would be to use Applitools functionality to handle this situation for us. What we can do, we can ignore, and we just can draw the region of the section that we want to ignore from Applitools to compare for us. So I click on this button and draw a region over here in the top of the screen. So that's the screenshot number 1. Okay, it's created. And after that, I need to click Save button. And let me do exactly the same thing for this screenshot, just in case if we have the loading bar over there as well. So I click Draw the region and just draw the region of the page that I want to be ignored, and also click Save right here. All right, that's it. We updated our expected screenshot and the area that we want to ignore from the comparison between the current screenshot and the baseline screenshot. Now let's run the test one more time and let's see what's going to happen. All right, test executed successfully. Let's refresh. And now test passed successfully. We see status is passed because both of the screenshot, this one has a match and this one has match as well. So everything working fine. The section was ignored successfully. Now let's perform some real visual test with our form layouts page. So this is the form layouts page, different elements right here. And let's say we will remove, or let's say developers accidentally removed this disabled option from the page. Will Applitools be able to detect it? Let's check it out. So I going back to our application, and since we running this on localhost, we have access to the source code, and this is the source code for this application. So this is the using the grid section, and this is the section for our radio buttons. And I'll just remove this section from the source code. Okay, going back right here, refresh the page, and here we go. The disabled option was deleted. And also for some reason, the option 2 was checked, which actually should not happen. It sounds like a bug. Now let's see what Applitools gonna do when we rerun this test one more time. So running the test and let's see what's gonna be the result. All right, going back to the dashboard, refresh, and here we go. We have now unresolved one more time. Check it out. So the first screenshot passed successfully because it's a match, but the second did not. Let's check it out what happened here. And here on the screenshot, we clearly see the entire area. So we see the option 2 is selected, but also a wider area is highlighted that something changed over there. So why did that happen? When we deleted the disabled option radio button, the entire layout of the page shifted a little bit up and moved all the content a little bit up. And that's why Applitools on the dashboard showing us the entire area highlighted. But if you want to remove those distractions from the page and kind of have a clearer picture what exactly was changed, you can click on this button which says hide diffs caused by element displacement. You click on that and now you see only what was actually happened on the page. So let me zoom it a little bit in. All right here. So we clearly see that the disabled option was removed because it highlighted over here. And also we have a text form without labels now appearing inside of our viewport. It's because the, again, layout shifted a little bit up. And one more thing that Applitools detected is that option 2 radio button is now selected for some reason. So that's why it is highlighted. So let's assume, for example, that this is expected behavior. Let's say that removing of this radio button was something that we expected to happen from our developers, and this should be our new baseline screenshot. In this case, what you're gonna do, you click the thumbs up button right here, close, hold on, no, not close. And then after that, you need to click on the save button to make sure that this new screenshot will be saved as a new baseline screenshot. And against this new baseline screenshot, all future screenshots will be compared. So click on that. And all right, why is it saved and saved? Okay, it's saved. So now we can rerun this test and making sure that it's working as expected. All right, going back. And the test passed successfully, comparing our new baseline screenshot with a new checkpoint which doesn't have the radio button disabled option. And one more thing that I want to show you is updated Playwright HTML report that is now integrated with Applitools as well. So here in Playwright configuration file, you can see that reporter is now replaced with Applitools reporter instead of standard HTML reporter. And if I run this command, npx playwright show report, to open the report saved locally on my computer, this is how it looks like. So it's the standard HTML reporter, but with couple of enhancements. So here added 2 new tabs, Eyes and Unresolved. So Eyes is showing how many visual tests we had, and Unresolved is how many actually had a conflicts between baseline screenshot and expected screenshot. Since our last test passed successfully, we have a 0 over here. Then you open this report, and this is a standard report of Playwright. But here instead, in the bottom, you have a slightly different design. So you can click here to see the difference. It's not showing us anything because the test passed. Then actual, expected, side by side, when you compare 2 screenshots side by side, and slider. So I like this a lot. So by moving the slider, you can compare the screenshot. Again, our test passed successfully, so not the best demonstration, but you will see the difference between the actual and expected result if there is a difference between the screenshot. And also a thing that you can accept or reject the results of execution right from the HTML report, which is actually cool. And when you click the accept or reject, this information is passed to the Applitools dashboard and recorded on the dashboard. So this is how integration between the reporter and Applitools dashboard works, which is very, very cool. All right, guys, that's it. So in this video, we configured Applitools with Playwright, and also I showed you how to perform a basic workflow comparing the base screenshots with the actual screenshots for the visual validation. And in the next lesson, I will show you how to adjust different mesh layers using Applitools AI features, and also how to perform cross-browser testing with just a few lines of configuration, which is very, very awesome and saves a lot of time. So see you in the next video.